Gunline. We got a fire mission coming down, y'all. I'm your host, Lopez, and you're listening to the On the Gunline podcast, where we just chop it up and shoot the shit like we would out in the field, whether you were under the net, in between the trails, or if you were a fat, sloppy piece of gelatinous 13 banger, you were inside that paladin. Anyways, just chilling
Or
over
you,
here with my
or
boy.
you were free donuts and coffee.
Free donuts and coffee. There you go. I used to call them what was it? Food, drinks, and cell phones. But yeah, man. I'm over here with my boy Lee Hunt, as usual, the co-host with the most beautiful fucking locks going up there.
Luscious locks going. Yeah.
Man, they've come a long way, man.
Yeah, them locks is locking.
Yeah, they are, bro. But I tell you what wasn't locking, the motherfucking pressure inside that submarine last week.
Yeah, it wasn't. That shit was. It was too much pressure. It was pressure.
Under
pressure.
Yo, that shit's crazy, man. So you were telling me just a few minutes ago before we delved into this one that there was somebody that actually fucking predicted something like this.
Yeah, there's a lady. She has an accent, so I think she may be Irish. But yeah, so on February 14th, on Valentine's Day, it's all time stamped. Like, she was predicting this. If y'all don't know who Bill Paxton was, he was actually in the movie Titanic. But she was like, Bill Paxton is coming through, and he's telling me about, a catastrophic accident that's about to happen. She said, it's a ship. She said, it's smaller than the Titanic. And she was like, I don't know if it's a cruise ship, but she was like, but there's passengers on board. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, and it's crazy. And then, like, since that happened, remember, she said this February 14th. And then, for the last couple of days, she's like, hey, listen, this is the information that I'm getting through. And the first thing that she was talking about with the guy, Rush or whatever, she was like, he just really wants to send his deepest condolences and let everybody know that he is sorry for what happened. And he let them know that it was something with the hinge. And, the controller was all broke. They were supposed to go one way and they were going another way. But yeah, so it's crazy, man.
Basically, what it boils down to is leave motherfuckers alone. Let them rest. There was no reason for those motherfuckers to go down there. I mean, there really wasn't. Well, what are they trying to prove? So they can go out of the next party and be like, guess what I did over the summer?
Yeah, dude literally spent what people spend on a house for him and his son, who didn't even want to go. What people would spend on a house. On a house to do this shit.
That kid didn't even want to go. He just went to appease his fucking parents. You know what I'm saying? And then,
you know what the crazy thing is? It was actually supposed to be him and his wife.
Damn.
She came out on the interview and was like, it was actually supposed to be me and him.
Well, I mean, I'm sure that he was crushed that she didn't get to go. Damn, that's fucked up, huh?
Yeah, now, I'm going to be thinking about that shit whenever I'm on a plane. Like, what happens if, like, the pressure on this bitch is fucked up?
Well, I mean, I don't know, man. I think, what happens in that, like, it tries to
pressurize itself.
Yeah, it has to. I don't know, man. That's all that fucking. I'm a 13 Bravo, baby. You talk to me about equilibration and fucking shit like that.
I'm not a scientist. I'm not a mathematician.
Hell no. Nah. I ain't no wizard. Talk to the FTC. They might have an answer for you on that shit. Yeah. All I know is that I know better than to stick myself into a fucking can of fucking sardines and go underwater to see something that I'm not even going to be able to see.
Piloted by a fucking PlayStation remote.
Exactly. Not to mention that, we spent so much money on the resources to go out there to look for these motherfuckers. And meanwhile, out here in the States, you got so many people that go missing all the fucking time, yet we don't spend nearly the amount of resources needed to find these missing children. So
exactly.
And these were fucking adults.
Just doing dumb shit. And I got it, man. Listen, I will never tell anybody how to spend their money, what to do with their money. But at some point, you just got to admit that is selfish as fuck. Like, what business? Why would you, even the motherfuckers that are spending these $400,000 to go to space, the edge of space, for a 90-minute trip? Like, why? Like, I don't get it. To me, it's stupid as fuck.
So I'll give you this. I wouldn't mind going to space. I would take that chance. But at the same time, I wouldn't want nobody spending any shedding any tears for me if I fucking ended up all control deleting myself up there. You know what I mean? Because it was my choice to go up there. Same thing with these dudes down there. You know, it was their choice. You know, so I don't feel any sorrow for them whatsoever. I don't. And like I was telling you earlier, man, the biggest thing on my mind is what else is going on, because they claimed that they heard the implosion occur through some secret fucking bullshit that the Navy has, you know, back on Sunday. But then they also claimed later on during the week that they heard some tapping noises. So which one is it, y'all? You know, y'all trying to fucking you know, make us look this way while y'all doing something over here?
Yeah.
You know what?
Pretty
What I
much.
wouldn't doubt, I wouldn't doubt if somebody in that motherfucking little submersible was somehow linked up to the Epstein shit. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't doubt it.
Oh my God. I mean, they're billionaires and millionaires, multimillionaires. So who knows?
I'm just saying, bro. I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it. But I mean, that's what y'all get for fucking around and finding out what's going on with
But
motherfuckers that are just resting in peace, man.
it goes so far to talk about, like, listen, these billionaires and these millionaires, and I'm not hating on them, got so much time on their hands. Look at James Cameron. He built a one-man submersible to go to the Marianas Trench, the deepest part of the fucking ocean, the deepest part, where the pressure is just like crazy pressure there. Like I
Unimaginable.
can't even like the scientists fathom. They thought about it, but just think about that. Like you have so much money that you spend years in time and research to do something selfish for yourself. I'm not saying I don't give a fuck what community it is. Why not spend that money in something positive for an outlet for these kids to go to, for the young kids in any fucking community? Why not do that something positive for these kids? Why not spend? And once again, I'm not telling people how to spend their money, and they do what they got to do with it. Look how many kids you could have helped take out of doing. Like there was a billionaire, and he paid for everybody's the graduating class. He paid all their student loans off. He was like, no, y'all are coming out of college debt fucking free, so you can start your fucking life right instead of still trying to play catch up. Like you did it right. You went to school, you earned your degree. I want to make sure that y'all are able to at least have a equal playing field, if you will. Or I wouldn't say equal playing field, but have a fair chance where you don't have to worry about paying back all the student loan, and you can go ahead and further your career and just live your life without having to worry about the student loan. And I'm not saying everybody has to do that. There's tons of things that people could have done. You poured even more of that money into research.
And
Who
again,
knows?
I mean, we're not telling people what they can, what they should do with their money. That's your money. You do whatever you want, but don't expect me to feel sorry for your ass when you get crushed in the can. That's all I'm saying. That is all I'm saying, you know, because again, I wouldn't mind going to the edge of space myself if I had the ducats to do it. I would, you know, but hey, it is what it is at the end of the day, man. You know, better them than me.
Yeah.
Sorry, not sorry. Let motherfuckers leave them alone. You know, leave them alone. And
It's
like you
not a
said,
tourist attraction.
and like you were
The Titanic is not a tourist attraction, man.
facts, you know, and like you were saying earlier as well, like, you know, people at Fort Sill are somewhat guilty of it too, because they run now, do they run around the Geronimo's grave, or what do they do?
Bro, I remember running inside that fucking grave. Because there's just not his grave there. There's other graves there too. His is marked clearly, but we were running inside that motherfucker.
Kind of like a cemetery area then. So
Yeah.
it'd be akin to going for a run at the motherfucking at Arlington. You know, going for a motivational run at Arlington. I don't see that, bro. Just that motherfuckers leave them be in peace, man. Leave them be in peace.
Exactly.
Shit. But yeah, man. So what's been good with you, my brother?
Oh, just chilling, enjoying life, man. Had the kids for a few, get them again next month for a few. So, you know, gonna be doing that again. Life
So
is good.
here on the gun line, for those that are new over here, we like to talk about, you know, things that are going on in the military, things that are going on within us, and then you know, we put some light shit on there in between too. We ain't comedians, but we ain't politicians either. We give our uninformed opinions or informed opinions on different topics and things. So the reason I'm saying this right now is because right now I want to touch a little bit on the Army. All right, specifically the Army. Look, everybody knows that I'm vet bro proud. You know what I'm saying? Because apparently having standards is being a vet bro. And I'm proud of
Vet
that.
Bro 6.
You know what I'm saying? Hell no, seven, baby. I'm an NCO.
Vet Bro Actual.
But I mean, so let's start off with some cadence calling, for example. Even as I was coming into the military, there were certain cadences that were modified because of the female soldier or female recruit or private may have been around. So they changed them over. So for example, there was one that was roll me over in the clover, roll me over, roll me under, do it again, do it again. When I gave her inch one, she said, "Ooh, that was fun." Anyway, that got changed up
Yeah,
when
some of
I
the
was
mama
at
and
the
papa
military.
were lying in bed.
Yeah,
Mama
there
rolled
was
over.
that.
This is what she said. Give me some
Mm,
PG. Yeah, they don't do
yeah.
that no more.
And unfortunately, those were modified, and I can see the purpose around that. Like if there were females around, I would see the reasoning behind it. Okay, but at the end of the day, when it comes down to modifying certain songs, um, there's some that are specifically about killing, which is our primary duty, is to kill, whether people like to accept that or not. And I'll go even combat arms related, infantry, cavalry, artillery, armor. That's our fucking
Scout.
job. That's our job. And we have certain mentalities or frame of thoughts that we have to, in a way, almost brainwash ourselves or indoctrinate ourselves so as to not see the other person as a human being, rather a target. Because if you hesitate at the moment that you need to fucking take them out, you're going to be the one carried home by 6. So, there's certain songs out there like, see that Taliban dressed in black. That's my E-tool in his back. He should have known that he was in danger when he fucked around with this 13 banger. Anyway, so just shit like that, it's very motivational. So, I mean, I think that we need to keep that alive and maybe take off Taliban, but say enemy, not every, I don't know. They were fun songs about clubbing baby seals, napalm sticking to kids, you know, killing for my country. I but there were other ones that didn't have to do with that, but they glorified alcohol.
Yeah, I used to love one. One of our dudes used to do talking about, that fit the vodka was in my locker. That fit the hen gonna make me sin. That
Mm-hmm.
Jack and Coke, it ain't no joke.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I used to love that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Hold on. Who the fuck just called me? Bitch, if you an attorney, you way too late now. But anyways, yeah, man, and I loved it because that shit used to pump me up. Like, it was something about it, like that Jack and Coke. It ain't no joke. And we over there like, just when that left foot strikes the ground, all I want to hear is that hooah sound. Hooah. Don't get me started. Why you want to get me
Yeah,
started? Don't get me
yeah,
started because I act retarded. Oh, mate.
yeah,
I'm sure you can't say that no more. Now you got to say because I act very extra chromosomed. I don't know.
yeah. It's like, yeah, they'll put something in. Like, it is what it is, man. Times change, things evolve. I know
Yeah,
how you
but
feel about
should
it.
they? Should they is the question, though.
It's evolving should change as long as you're not, as long as things should change, right? Because as long as somebody is still being still, I think certain things should not change. Obviously, when we're talking about that, I'm talking about TTPs. TTP should never, they should evolve to go along with what's going on in the world. Obviously, we had to learn the hard way to evolve our TTPs from the start of the war going on forward. But certain things, as far as like songs and like that, I just don't like. It is what it is, man. I think it's just something that we can sit back on our porches with ourselves, have a cigar, have a glass of whiskey, and just kind of like talk about, yeah, that was fun times, and just realize that the sun is set on that. But as long as there's still a lethal fighting force, and there's still practicing the maneuvers, practicing, artillery, whatever the Cav do, all that shit. As long as they're still practicing that and they're honing those skills, then fuck it. We can just, I think we can indulge in the fact that we were the last great ones to do that, and sit back, like I said, on our porch with our whiskey, our cigar, and our friends, and just laugh about the good times and enjoy those good times.
Well, how about this? How about we get a third perspective on this?
Yeah. Matter of fact, that's a good question to ask for your topics when you do a reel.
Yeah. So right now, what I'm doing is I'm shooting a link to one of our friends on the Tikkity Toks. He goes by the name of Big Chief 13 Bravo, aspiring comedian as well, and he's jumping on right now. So give me 2 minutes, and we'll go ahead and bring him back on. Go.
This meeting is being recorded.
All right, everybody, we are back here on the gun line. Now, what's better than having 2 chiefs on the gun line? Having 3 motherfucking chiefs on the gun line. Y'all about to hear how it really goes down on the ground in between them fire missions. Right here, we got Big Chief with us. Big Chief.
Yo.
How's it going, brother?
Man, I'm living, man. I'm tired, man. I had to get a colonoscopy at the VA yesterday, man. So I'm just
recovering.
I tell you what, I'm pretty sure that whatever thing they put up the hoop is happy it didn't get crushed like that motherfucking submarine did.
Right.
Going to see some shit it didn't have to see, brother.
Right.
Bro, have you seen all these motherfuckers that are like all sad and sentimental about these rich motherfuckers going down there disturbing people in their watery graves?
Well, I think them billionaires fake them deaths. I don't believe I don't believe nothing I see on the news, man.
Like, fuck it, they die. Man, like, I don't know what it is, dog. You just funny as shit without even trying to be funny, dog. And I'm surprised you didn't even come on here with, hey, what's up, what's happening? Like, you
all
know
right.
Do. Yeah.
Hey, what's happening? Big Chief, 13 Bravo.
Hey, like I told you, man, I'm still a little tired. I said, try to get it. I'll be back in action soon.
Yo, man. So I was telling Hunt that, that we shouldn't be fucking with the dead. You know what I'm saying? Going underwater in that submersible. Yeah. And the biggest thing that stands out to me is that supposedly on Sunday, they heard that shit, get crushed like a Pepsi can. But supposedly later on during the week, they heard some tapping. So what the fuck is really going on there? I think you might be onto something. Hey. These motherfuckers are probably trying to get away from their families. You know what I'm saying? Got some stacked up somewhere and just gonna go live on Epstein Island.
Yeah, because black and brown people, we can't fake our own deaths, man. That motherfucker died of diabetes or some shit or something.
I mean, the darkest motherfucker still from the mountains of Caucasus, Pakistani or some shit?
Yeah, he got his ass packed up.
Yeah. Dude, I mean, how fucked up is that shit, man? That's crazy. And then, it led into a conversation that I guess motherfuckers in Fort Sill, when they go out running, apparently they go around the motherfucking Geronimo's grave area.
Mm-hmm.
So motherfuckers at Sill are pretty much guilty of doing the same thing. They just can't get their asses crushed by a can, but they out there disturbing the peace,
wow.
Yeah. And which then in turn led us to some cadence calling. All right. Cadence calling. I love calling cadence, bro. That's one of my things. I couldn't sing worth a shit, but god damn, could I fucking get out there and sing some cadence, trying to at least, glorifying alcohol, killing fucking Hajis, Taliban's with a 5.56 in their head, and now that shit has been modified to be a little more PC, I guess you could say, politically correct. So
in 2000, I would say it happened right around 2010. I never forget. No, 2011. I just got back from I was at Fort Carson.
Mm-hmm.
I was singing a cadence about napalm and kids.
Mm-hmm.
I had a producer. He was like, "Hey, you can't do that." I was like, "Oh, it's time for me to get up out of here, homie." The game is changing.
Mm-hmm. Like, how dare them tell me I can't talk about napalm and kids? Like, fuck them kids.
It sticks to kids, man.
Yeah.
So this is my thing, right? And I would get your opinion on this too, brother. I personally don't mind the change. I don't, because this is the way I see this. This was our generation. This was something that our generation can have forever.
Yeah.
That we were the last ones to actually do this. And I was telling Lopez, I was like, to me, it's a good thing that they are changing, because now our generation, what we can do is we can sit on the porch, we can have our cigar, we can have our whiskey, we can bullshit with our.
Oh, snap. Oh, man, he gonna be laid out the tube.
There he goes. There he goes with the motherfucking Obama phone.
There we go. But yeah, no, I'll hop on that. Like, I appreciate because that's one thing I always tell about the military. Like, there always leaps and bounds of everybody. So like, even though it don't make sense, and even though it be pissing us off, why are they, chain PC? I'm all like, they be knowing something. Like, even though like it be bouncing here and there, but they've always been ahead of the curve when it comes to like being progressive. This is the world we're living in, man. It's like, even if you look back to the generations before us, they'll look at, our generation and be like, y'all soft.
Mm-hmm.
That's human evolution. That's how it's supposed to be. But we'll see.
Here's the thing I have a problem with, though, Big Chief. Here's the problem I have is that in the combat MOSs specifically, our main priority is to unalive motherfuckers, to delete them off the face of the earth. You know what I'm saying? So when they start fucking with our way of mentally preparing for it, it kind of starts fucking with the program, man. I mean, we are in a way programming ourselves to go and be able to not look at them as humans, because if we do that, we might hesitate. If we hesitate, we dead. You know what I'm saying?
Well, they just getting ready for the robots to do all the fighting for us anyways. Yeah, that's all it is. Like, I mean, you see it, they allow women into the combat arms jobs. So it's slowly getting to a point where it's all like, you know what? I'm just gonna pull out these sticks and let them do the fighting for us. So
it sounds good in theory, though, like, oh, check this out, bro. Speaking of cadence calling, there was this one that I remember we were on a brigade run. We were doing a brigade run, and so I jumped out and I started singing, left, right, left, right, left, right, kill. And, on that one, it's for my country, I will. And then I went to the PX where all the people shop. I grabbed my machete and I began to chop, 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 and I was singing left, right, left, right, left, right, kill. And then I went to the post office where people get their mail. I grabbed my AT4 and I blew them all to hell. And then left, right, left, right, left, right, kill. And then finally, I think where it went a little overboard was maybe when I said I went to the playground where all the kiddies play. I grabbed my N4 and I began to spray, singing left, right, left, right, left, right, kill. But that was just the, it apparently one of the lieutenants had a problem with the way that that was portrayed. But everybody else was enjoying it,
Yeah. It's always a slippery slope. Yeah, because even when I'm doing art, I come across all these like censorship barriers, and it's like, it is annoying. It pisses me off, but it forces me to like adjust fire. Like, okay, how can I like get my message but put it in a different way where it's digestible? Because I'm seeing like it's like I see everything from all sides. Like, everybody can't handle, because to us it's just normal. Like, you understand, yeah, it's all, that was our lives. But then it's all like, all right, like once you step outside of it and then see it. But yeah, no, them days, like, that's one thing I love. Like, those are the what I feel like was the just a different time in the glory years for us. It's like, all right, this is something we could bond on.
Yeah, for real. So if for those that are wondering what happened to Hunt, apparently he had a fucking outage out there where he's at. So
oh yeah, they having issues down in Texas, man. They're going through it with the outages, the weather. Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Bro, I'm in San Antonio. Trust me. It's hotter than a motherfucker out here, bro.
I'm so glad I got it, man.
Yo, so yeah, man, with your art. So do you find yourself, you're censoring yourself then, or are you modifying your art then?
I'm learning to modify, because it's all like, biggest lesson I've learned is like, we be saying that like freedom of speech, this stuff like that. But speech costs, and it's like it falls in line with best lesson in the Army, I was ever taught: do what your rank can handle.
Right.
So if you can handle the consequences of being this wild individual and whatever, then go for it. But like I feel like before you get there, it's like, all right, let me figure out the game and then go from there. So it is annoying, it's frustrating, but this is a game we got to play.
Yeah.
Same thing, like dealing with a safety tee. It's all like, all right, yeah.
Know your left and right limits, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's probably why this podcast will never get fucking picked up for anything, because I refuse to conform to YouTube's motherfucking TOS and bullshit like that.
You looked at Patreon, man? I don't know. I was just hanging with some art homies. They brought it up. So
I looked at Patreon, but then that means I have to put up a paywall. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody gonna pay for this shit. Not yet, at least. Maybe one day. But no, what I ended up doing was I found this shit called Rumble.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm starting to upload on Rumble now.
Okay, I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah, man, because they don't have all the fucking little sensitivity classes that they do on fucking YouTube. So as always, this won't get that much traction, but that's cool, man. It gives me enough. But yeah, man, fucking crazy. You know what I trip out on? How we're talking about females in the combat MOSs. Look, I've always been a person that's been big about keeping them separated from the combat MOSs. I'm not saying that they can't do it. Mm-hmm. I've never said that they cannot do the job. However, I don't think that they should be in that job, because to me, it just causes more motherfucking added grief than it should. EO complaints, shark complaints, fucking it'll cause more tension within the sections. And I get it. The usual response is like, well, maybe they should stop thinking with their dicks and blah blah blah. Well, unfortunately, it's biology. Yeah. And I'm not saying that they should be out there fucking harassing women, because they shouldn't, but I'm saying that there's relationships that can emerge in a section, for example, and now let's say, for example, they break up. Now there's going to be fucking tension within that section, anyways, that's just my point of view.
Yeah, that's why I'm glad I served. When I served, I got out before they made that change, and I'm glad. It was just so much easier to have all male soldiers.
It was, man.
Was easier. So I think even with having women in there, like it's going to teach you, have to teach these leaders how to be better leaders. I think that's, and then so like I said, ain't my problem no more. So I'll be hearing stories from my homies that are still in. I'm like, woo.
Oh yeah, I'm a vet bro. I mean, I'm considered a vet bro. So
I think the leaders that come in, the ones that I think the biggest struggles are like people like if we were still in. Like once you're used to, a certain way, and then they switch it on you. But I think the ones that are coming up with women in the combat ranks, those are the ones that are gonna be adjust better. And it's just you can't tell these women what to do. And you can try, but you can't tell a woman no. So I'll be like, hey, if you want to play this game, it's different. Mm-hmm. So hey,
and that's the biggest thing though. Why when bringing the women into the let's say on the gun line, bringing them to the gun line. I know there's women out there that have the same mouths that we do, the same fucking thought frames that we do, the same type of shit, right? But sometimes we have to censor ourselves out in the field now because of them being out there, and even if we don't want to, even if they say, no, everything's all equal, it's really not, it's really not. Because I mean, I can remember when motherfuckers will run up and down the gun line in just a motherfucking IOTV. Bucket motherfucking naked, and it was just fun shit, and but now that could be fucking harassment. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's why I'm glad I was all like, because I remember I was in that line. I was like, well, women gonna be here. Like, I got to see this dude's musty balls. We got some musty coochie out here too.
And that was another thing, bro. Like, I mean, if the broads are gonna be out there, we used to be out in the field for a fucking 3 weeks, 4 weeks. We didn't come back in for no baths or shit like that. We did, baby wipes or motherfucking out on the tree line, wipe yourself down. But women, they gotta, feminine hygiene shit they gotta take care of.
Yeah.
It's just a natural biological thing. But that was always my argument. At the end of the day, I accepted it that, I mean, it's not my job to agree or disagree. My job was to enforce whatever standards or rules are. So I even told my section that I was telling them like, hey, once they come here, regardless of how we feel, that's still going to be our sister.
You were still in when the change happened?
They were talking about implementing it.
Okay. All
Because
right.
I got out in 15.
15,
And
okay.
then shortly afterwards, they started coming in, you know, and so my biggest thing about it was, you know, telling my guys, like, regardless of anything, that's going to be our sister. We ain't going to be out there motherfucking, you know, carrying her pack. Hey, you packed it, you hump it. You know what I'm saying? Okay, you're not coming in here to be number one, man. You're going to start off as AP, advanced party, baby. Get your motherfucking ass over there with Gunny and learn how to motherfucking shoot an azimuth, get the engineer tape, you know, and you better learn how to ground guide my ass into my spot to occupy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're going to go step by step. So just recently I had a female on here named Ashley Smith. And I mean, she's a chief now on a paladin, and 100% cool as fuck. She's cool as fuck. She could sling rounds, you know what I'm saying, with the best of them. She's 6 feet fucking tall. You know what I'm saying? So, and I see
they was gonna have them on the 155s. I thought it was just gonna be straight up like light
119ers.
Yeah, but oh shit, game done changed on the.
Bro, I mean, she could sling rounds and she could talk shit with the best of them. You know what I mean? Yeah. So with that, you know, like I said, she was cool as shit. She understood my point of view, and I got her point of view as well. And there was no love lost. If anything, like, you know, we've been tighter since. Like, we'll shoot the shit together. We'll talk back and forth. You know what I mean? And she's cool as fuck. I would have made the adjustments needed. It wasn't going to change my leadership style. Like I said, my leadership is to make y'all develop and become the best soldier you can be, whether male or female. I would have adjusted to it. Would I agree with it? No. 100% no. But I will enforce it. You see what I'm saying? So, but I got a lot of fucking flack for talking that shit. And I'm a vet bro for life. I'm down with that. But you know what? Let me ask you something, man. Straight up gunline talk. You know, out on the gunline, we have some stupid ass conversations. Right. All right. So this is one of them stupid ass conversations I'm about to bring up right now, bro. When it comes down to motherfucking chicken, Popeyes or KFC, bro?
Oh man, Popeyes,
right?
See, Popeyes, yo.
I'm a KFC cat personally. It's that gravy. That gravy does it for me. That's just like heroin to me. But then somebody threw a motherfucking monkey wrench in there and said Church's. Now, I don't know if you ever had Church's chicken.
Yeah, well, hold on. There's 2 churches. Wow. I know the original church, but they got the Church's chicken down in Texas. Yeah. Actually in Houston. But yeah, church, I don't trust churches. Should no breast be that big? Like, nah.
Only breast that big should be on a woman.
Yeah.
God damn it.
Steroids they put in them chickens, man.
Shit. Let me ask you, man, what were some times on the gun line that you missed now that you're out here in the civilian sector? Because I started seeing your TikTok. It's starting to evolve more. Like, you know, I like what you be doing that like the what is like Chief After Dark or some shit when you know you just chilling out. And what are some of the things that you've are starting to realize the longer you're out about being a civilian, well, a veteran in a civilian world?
Try to fit this in this minute 30.
Oh no, I'll shoot you another link so we can continue if you're cool.
Yeah. I just miss shooting, man. I miss shooting, man. It's a high that like nobody will, only a select few. Man, I'm getting like a little emotional thinking about it, man. But just like my brothers, my other chiefs.
Yeah.
I miss my Joes, like just like cause you just spend so much time together. Like it's like that's family. And just everything, like just in the competition, man, just the competition, just like who got that 2 the fastest.
You know what's funny? Yeah. You bring up the competition thing. We're gonna pick up on the competition right now. I'm gonna shoot you a new link, and and we're gonna pick it up from right there. All right, brother?
All right, man.
I appreciate you being here. Give me one quick second. I'm gonna shoot you that new link. All right, Gunline, we are back here, and we're gonna go ahead and continue with the motherfucking competition side of the field artillery. One thing I can tell you about competitiveness there is I learned that when I was in our AIT portion of OSUT, that artillery is just competition after competition after competition. We were still fucking training, and our section chiefs and over there in the AIT side had us competing, or they would bet on who could set up the collimator fastest. Who could run the motherfucking the aiming post fastest, You know what I'm saying? Everything was a fucking competition. The drill sergeants right there with the AIT instructor, like, hey, I bet you this motherfucking private will beat that one motherfucking private. Hey, private, you better fucking do it right, or you're gonna be pushing. That's all we have, bro. It comes from the jump, and I think that competitive spirit bonds you even more. What do you think?
Yeah, it helps you buy in. Like, I can't speak for the other. I think the closest maybe be tankers or mortars, but like this is the only one where I know that competitiveness, and it just helps you buy in. It's like it just helps you buy in. You tell your Joes, hey, you don't want to, because like once again, you got to go back to that gun line and you go back here talking shit. So you don't want nobody talking shit. So
and then on the gun line, even while guns are shooting, you will hear shit talking. Like, I was one of the loudest fucking chiefs. I got made fun of by another chief out there when we were in Carson. He said I sounded like that one bitch from Austin Powers. That one lady, like, lowers the glove. I will be out there like 3612 765. And because you got to be loud. You know what I'm saying? And you just be hearing boom when it's a good competition, bro. It's just gun after gun, just boom, boom, boom.
I am so glad I got a few videos from that stuff, and every time I need a little fix,
bro, I trip out on motherfuckers. We always quick to be like, I was the first out the tube. Yeah, but I was the first one calling rounds complete, motherfucker. You can be first all you want, but I'm the first one round complete.
Yeah, I tell a quick story real quick.
Yeah.
Because it's funny because I ended up getting 4 blocks, and I got decertified when my first time chiefing. Got decertified because I skipped some steps along the way. You were talking about being advanced party. I've never done advanced party, but got decertified. It was one of the most embarrassing, lowest points in my military career. Like, I didn't know what I was doing for real. Sergeant major off of my gun. Hold
on. Let's rewind a little bit with this decertification. We're gonna delve into this. Now, everybody knows when it comes to the fucking field artillery world, there's one phrase that we never want to hear coming down from the FDC, and that's gonna be gun so and so to a rear of the piece, face to piece, fall in. You never want to hear that as a chief. Now, that you get that called on you?
Nope, I have never. I've never, because what it was, we had before, and this was around 2010 for context, because a lot of time they was pushing people out, they were finding any old ways to like kick people out, they was doing bar from re-enlistment. And so we were supposed to go out to certify. We got back from Iraq. I was a new E6 chief. They sent me off to what was it time? ALC, what they call it. I don't know what they call it now. And they just pushed me through. And then I had a smoke. He didn't really know his job. So they kind of let me, and then at the time, you being chief, I don't know what questions to ask and stuff like that. So we went out to the field for certifications. And before we could shoot, we went like a pre-certification going through stuff. And that's when they were like, yeah, this dude don't know what he's doing. And then I had Sergeant Major in my gun. He asked my gunner to break apart the breech, and he ain't know. And so they looking at me, they're like, why not? And I was all like, and they were like, hey, take him off the line.
Damn.
So that resulted in me getting, and it wasn't no fault of my own because I never.
That wasn't your fault. I blame your smoke.
Well, I'll take a personal accountability on that one because I had just been getting by on smarts, and like I never took the time to really get in them books, like learn the -10.
But still, bro, and that's cool that you're taking personal accountability on this shit. But I do blame your motherfucking smoke. Right there, 100%. I don't know how you feel about that, Hunt.
Oh yeah. I still, and that's one thing I got to learn. I'm learning my healing process to kind of, because like that smoke I had, he came from Afghanistan, and like, so I ain't gonna excuse all that shit, but at the same time, he was like abusive to like the soldiers and stuff like that. Really didn't know his job, was using fear as like a fear tactic. But after that, I was fighting to get back. Like I did eventually, they let me, re-enlist and stuff like that. But then once I came back, I got certified, bro. That was like, getting certified was a top 5 feeling. And then
and that's the biggest thing. Like, before you become a chief, I mean, let's go. I mean, shit, you got to do ASPT, and then you
Save you 5.
You got gunner's testing, and if you're a high speed chief, if you're a high speed chief, you're doing big 3 cert.
Big Chief, what you said, that kind of like I had the same kind of experience, because like it took me going to Fort Sill to be an instructor for Bullock, to where I was like, yo, can't nobody fuck with me. When I got to my new unit, I told them straight up when I first got there, I know more than you.
Damn.
I'm talking about, first of all, so I was still in replacement, and like they were like, hey, you need to come in. And I was like, nah, man, I'm already off for the day. I've already been drinking. And they was like, well, first I want to see you. We're gonna come get you. I was like, fuck that, I'm finna drive over there myself. And they were like, is this motherfucker finna drive here drunk? I sure the fuck did. And fucking I go into the first sergeant office. I'm like, I think I should be the fucking gunnery sergeant. And the platoon sergeant's like, whoa,
damn,
who are you? He's like, yo, who are you? I was like, I'm me. And then I go in there with the rest of the chiefs, and I tell them, I was like, I know more than all y'all.
See, you gotta have that fucking mentality though to get that shit going. I got lucky to that. Okay, so my first unit in 277 out of Fort Hood, we put away our guns like right before deployment. We put them, they were gone. Like, you know, we played with the guns for a little bit during the field, and then they were put away, and then we started doing fucking Humvee fucking bullshit, you know, maneuver type bullshit. Then we got back, then we got back, and we started playing with the guns. They already had their chiefs. My chief ended up going recruiting, and I was getting ready to PCS to Korea, so I didn't even fall into a section. You know what I mean? I ended up being our smokes driver. Chavari, you're the man now, brother. But you know, and then long story short, I went to Korea. In Korea was where I learned my paladin shit. Because I had a chief there, Sergeant Aguayo, that he would take me on the weekends out to the fucking over to this motor pool and learn about it. Because I got humbled really quick. I was an E4 with a combat patch, thinking I'm all, you know, all shit hot. But I got humbled because my chief said, hey, go initialize the gun. And I'm like, initialize who? And then so to make that even more humbling of an experience, he said, hey, PFC DOST, go show the specialist how to initialize the gun.
Oh, tell you, no matter what, just like with the casinos, they talk about the house always gonna win. Uncle Sam's penis is always gonna be bigger than yours. Always gonna humble you, no matter what. Gonna put that thing on your shoulder. And hey, soldier.
And believe you me, that was the last time that PFC DOST ever taught me a goddamn thing. Because I was in that 650. I'm sorry. Well, it was a dash 10.
Dash 10, yeah.
I was in that dash 10, bro. I was in there. I learned how to initialize. I'd be up on the weekends. Because I'll be damned if I'm gonna fucking lose a PFC to be gunner. Fuck that. So, back then it was best man for the job.
Yep.
Yeah, man, I kind of got humble like that too. Like I said, man, because like I went from being a paladin back to the 119er. So the 119er was the first. The 119er was the first piece I was ever on back at Campbell, and I fucking loved it. What's up?
I was just saying. I thought you initially went from heavy to light. That's like a no. You got to go from light to heavy. Yeah.
No. So I went from when I was at Campbell that was first duty station. It was the 119er. Then I was the paladin. And then they made me go back to the 119er after years of not being on that bitch.
Okay, gotcha.
And then like, I got humble quick, man. Like I had, you know, my boy Alphonse, my boy Hathaway. Alphonse was an E5 at the time, so they still was like running circles around me. But when they taught me that shit and I got on it, back then to certify, you had to have, because we were teaching lieutenants. And so like one of the main things is, right, so you have your sear cocking lever, right? So you got your sear cocking lever, you got your all these other, like even the springs, right? So what is the name of the spring? It's called the helical compression spring. So we had to learn all of the, like the name of the fucking spring to certify. Yes. And it would be in front of the battery commander and the first sergeant. And at one point in time over there at SEAL, the battery commander was a major. So you would have to say, okay, you would have, of course, your guys, the private doing this shit, putting it together, and you're explaining like you were talking to the students, the lieutenants. So yeah, you got to take the helical compressor spring, all that good shit. It got to the point to where my BC and my first sergeant looked at each other while the Mike Golf was there and be like, it was like, do we really need to be here for Hunt? Like, this is pointless. And they was like, and you know what I'm saying, the first sergeant was like, nope. And he was like, all right. And they just like started walking off. But it took that humbling experience, like you said. When you get humbled, you get humbled.
Mm.
But man, I love the 119er. Man, the 119er is the best fucking artillery piece in the world. Well, you be getting them goddamn rounds out. You get them goddamn rounds out, baby.
Yo, hunt. The spade. When that spade is fucking locked in place, baby.
I ain't never had that coochie. I'm gonna take your word for it. My favorite part, that Paladin, baby. Oh man.
Oh, fuck that Paladin.
But here's the thing about that Paladin, though, Big Chief. You know how to joystick that bitch.
I think what it was the fact that I was on the 198 starting out. I never got to chief the 198. So once I got to chief, I chiefed on the Paladin. And chiefing, hands down, that's fun. It's a video game.
No, you know what? I learned a big mistake. One of the biggest mistakes I ever made when I was a chief on the Paladin was sitting in that goddamn seat.
Mm-hmm.
And when my soldier almost lost his finger, from that day forward, I never sat in that seat again.
Never? Oh, man.
No, you know what? Because my homeboy told me, he was like, bro, you cannot control shit sitting in that fucking seat. Yeah, that's the chief seat. You earned it. But he's like, you cannot control shit like you can. You can't move around as freely as you can sitting in that seat. Yeah, and after that shit, I never sat in that seat again.
I think
when the fire mission was going on.
Yeah, I think I made sure that that's why I made sure that I made everybody be a chief. Like all my Joes, y'all all gonna be chiefs. Y'all gonna so it's all like so therefore so if you see anybody, so everybody had check firepower in my gun. Like as soon because they knew what to look for. And I was like, I knew I could only focus on so much. So yeah, I think that's what helped build my confidence with that crew. But I love it. Like you said, the competitive, man, once they lit that fire in my ass, man, my crew, I made them some PT studs. We got number one on our first time goals in that gunners test, like all of them. I was like, I was like, y'all don't want it. Y'all saw how y'all chief got embarrassed, right? Y'all don't want that to happen again.
Yo, bro, listen, when I tell you that, this is real quick. When I tell you that I told the motherfuckers I was better than them, keep in mind, this is still Staff Sergeant Hunt. Fucking First Sergeant Moriarty, right? We got back from NTC. Mike Goff was leaving. There was still E7s waiting to get a fucking platoon sergeant spot. Fucking Mike Goff, the first sergeant was like, man, I don't care how many E7s are here. Hunt is about to be my fucking platoon sergeant. You know what I'm saying? And goddamn it, I was the fucking platoon sergeant. Man, I was like, okay, cool.
How was being a platoon sergeant? Because I never
I loved it. I fucking loved every minute that I was a fucking platoon sergeant because, like, bro, I would make my fucking NCOs come to work. I would be there before them, and I'd be like, hey, listen, this has got to get done. Oh, it ain't done? All right, hey, Chiefs, guess what? 4:30, meet me right here in this fucking office.
Ooh, bro, that's what
I'd be there at 4 o'clock and waiting on them motherfuckers. Man, I had a soldier show up like he was less than a minute late to formation. Man, I got my clipboard. I threw that bitch. I don't give a fuck. Hey, 5 o'clock tomorrow. God damn it. I don't give a fuck. Everybody be here at 5 o'clock tomorrow. And then I went in and I started laughing with my homeboy. I was like, bro, I didn't really give a fuck. He was late. It's the principal. They trying to play me. I don't fucking like this shit. You know what I'm saying?
My emotions.
Yo, you know what? That is toxic leadership now, though.
It was funny as fuck, but it was toxic.
But was he late again, though?
Hell nah. He wasn't late again.
So it
no
worked,
one was
right?
late. Yep, no one was late.
Mass punishment works.
Yep. Yo, I mean, I remember when I only got to be a gunnery sergeant, but I don't consider myself a gunnery sergeant because it was during rear D. So you really don't be a gunnery sergeant, you know, when everybody's forward and you're in the rear. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I had the duties of it, which was, let's be honest, a gunnery sergeant in the mechanized unit, first of all, that's actually trash.
Yeah.
And however, in the light unit, you out there with the motherfucking what are they, 5988s? You know.
Yeah, you with the Advon. You with Advon. You gunnery sergeant. You
none of that fun shit, man.
Bro,
look, I got selected to be a gunnery sergeant by the PM.
Gunny in a heavy unit is just using an assistant pimp. That's
yeah.
I need you all the pimp stuff I don't feel like doing. You handle that gunny.
No, Gunny's in the motor pool.
My PL had said, "Hey, Lopez, Staff Sergeant Lopez, I want you to go ahead and be the gunnery sergeant for this platoon." And I thought about it, man, and I knew I was already going to be on my way out. You know what I'm saying? So why am I going to go ahead and, you know, train up, get ready to fucking roll out with these cats to Afghanistan when I know I'm not going to be making it on that deployment? So what I ended up doing was like, I appreciate it, sir. And thank you for, you know, selecting me to be the gunnery sergeant for this. But unfortunately, I think that this person will be a better replacement for me due to the fact that I'm not going to be able to train up. Because what's going to happen is I'm going to end up fucking staying in the rear anyway, and they're going to have to train up somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So my homeboy, he ended up taking fucking the spot for me, and I ended up in the rear. I would have loved taking the motherfuckers off, man, because advanced party is where you really look. Going back to what we were saying earlier, Big Chief Hunt, y'all know this. I think that, in my personal opinion, anybody that's going artillery needs to start in a fucking light unit first.
Yes, you have
start
to.
Start light.
Because there's nothing worse than when you go as a staff sergeant to a 119er unit and E5s are fucking dancing circles around you because you have no idea what an azimuth marker is. I had never seen a motherfucking azimuth marker. And I'm like, why the fuck is 3200 this way, but the tube is pointing that way?
Right.
You know, I felt so stupid.
I came in, this is the most hilarious thing ever. When we did Top Gun, I came in third. I was on the pace to get first. Where's the win? And what got me? Degraded ops. They were like,
degraded.
You came from I was like, bro, I skipped some steps. It's been a while.
Man, listen.
I'm glad I came in third though, because they had you come in first. They had to do extra work. They had to go out, do all these special things, whatever. I was all like,
dog and pony shows. Mm-hmm. The best thing. So speaking of my time as a chief, I actually got to take my platoon to the field as a platoon sergeant. And the best thing, man, you talking about big dick moment, the big dick moment I had, because we were in the Paladins, so we always shoot digital, but they wanted one of the guns to shoot degraded, and it was going to be Sergeant De Leon. He was going to be shooting degraded. So I'm my lieutenant. Is it? No, it's not Carlos.
It's like Rudy.
He was in Korea.
Was he a short little motherfucker?
Nah, he's kind of tall.
Oh, never mind. Go ahead.
So it was his gun that was gonna shoot. So me and my lieutenant out there setting up the aiming circles, safety circles. My shit is good. For whatever reason, his shit is not fucking bumping. My shit is good. When we read it, our shit's bumping. I read off the fucking yeah. So I'm looking at I'm looking at De Leon. I'm like, hey, number whatever, just aim point this instrument. Okay, cool. So then he's like, hey, refer this instrument. Mm-hmm. He's like, no, it ain't working. So then it's like the captain is taking over the battery. He's out there and he's like, what the fuck's going on? I'm like, listen, sir, my shit's bumping. And I was like, you know what? Fuck this shit. I was like, hey, listen, I'm setting my shit up. I was like, hey, take your shit down. I'm gonna set it up. So I went there to set it up. I was like, ABC. Hey, go check out my shit. The circle I set up. So, boom. Our shit bumped. His shit still bumped with De Leon. De Leon and me, I refer to him. Well, he refers. I call back. We're good. He's like, BC looked at me. I looked at him. I was like, fuck it, sir. We firing this bitch. Hey, man. Hey, fired them rounds. Hey, rounds complete. I said, he said, hey, I don't know what kind of fucking voodoo magic you did, but you did that shit. I was like, yeah, I'm the shit. That's why I did that shit.
Right, what was your big dick moment? That's my question. When y'all was Chiefs, what was the name of y'all guns?
Oh shit, man, don't have me. Man, we had to have some old corny ass shit. I can't remember when I was on the Paladin, but I know when I was at Fort Sill and I was an instructor, we had to have the BC at the time. He was a fucking nerd, and we had to have it based on a battle that started with the letter. Yeah, so I was like, bro.
Okay.
Some dumbass shit.
So my first gun that I had was in Korea when I was the first chief, and we kept it as a la madre, which in Spanish means like fuck it, or it's a la madre, dog. Yeah. But here's the thing. We changed the spelling to the first word being Allah, like Allah, God Allah, and then the second one being madre. So it was a la madre. And then my second gun was in motherfucking Fort Stewart.
Okay.
In Georgia. And then motherfuckers, they wanted to do the same shit where they named the guns after like Hawaiian fucking things or something like that. But no, we wasn't having that. So we said it was what was it, Billy the Kid?
Okay.
It was the fastest gun. And then my third gun and final gun in Fort Carson again was a la madre. Just fuck it. Yeah, those were the names for my guns. How about yours?
Fortunately, we just need to have the name be the first letter of the battery. So I was Bravo. So mine was Benita. But the funniest gun on the line, his name, and you probably can't get away with it now, but it was Big Richard.
No Bohica? Bohica? Nobody did Bohica?
Yeah, mine was Benita. I had an aunt named Benita, and then Benita Applebaum was playing a lot of tribes. So I was like, hey, this is what it's gonna be.
Hell yeah. Man, I'm telling you, the time that I would get fucking pumped up, I had this first time when I was in Korea, because I was like E5 motherfucking chief. I was the young buck chief, you know what I'm saying? And but I was quick with it, baby. I was quick. And so my first sergeant Samuel, he would be like, motherfucking Lopez making that shit dance. God damn, making that shit dance. He a gunslinger. When he called me that shit, I was like, yep, done. I'm a gunslinger, baby.
Matter of fact, I got
the characters and artillery, the best.
I got a question for the big chief. Have you ever done a sweeping zone?
Woo!
Have I?
Bro, ain't nothing better than a motherfucking sweeping zone. Because at that point, you become an FDC. FDC gonna give you that initial deflection, that quadrant.
Special instructions,
sweeping zone,
and then you doing math, baby. Tic-tac-toe like a motherfucker up on
there. I admire y'all because I have been like talking to y'all makes me remember, like realize how much I've forgotten, which is like a good thing. But it's like, damn, have I done sweeping zone? Shit.
Bro, that sweeping zone is fucking boy. You talking about catching hell?
As a chief, I remember definitely as a private being on the 198 doing that.
Man, that is you catching hell on there.
That's 198 equivalent. That's a new 8-inch.
Well, so there's something similar to that on the Paladin too. I forgot what it is. And here's the deal.
Zone.
It's you still can get 360 on the Paladin, so you can pretty much do action azimuth on the Paladin without moving. All you're doing is moving the turret because you go from all
you gotta do is you unlock it. You unlock the left and right limits.
Oh yeah, I remember. Motherfuckers do sweeping zones. Yeah, I've seen on the 108 jokers tipping the gun. Like, yeah, you see some wild shit on some sweeping zones,
bro. Action azimuth, that FDC,
bro. Action azimuth. When that shit came down the first time I heard it, I was like, wait, what the fuck? Now I know why those motherfucking azimuth markers are out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they pick that motherfucker up.
Hey, you better be good. You better have a gunner that's quick at getting that DAP. Be up on that bitch, unlock, relock that bitch. Post level. Oh man. Sweep 3 deflections, or what is it? Sweep 3 deflections, 10 mils. Oh,
so it'd be something like battery fire mission, special instructions, sweeping zone. 3 rounds, sweep 3 deflections. So it'd be sweep 3 mils. 3 deflections.
All you gotta know is that you're adding
4 mils, 4 quadrants. It'd be 3 deflections, 3 mils, 3 quadrants, 3 mils. So and then they'll give you your base deflection, your quadrant, and then as long as you don't violate that safety T, it's on you to fucking do that bitch.
You doing math, baby. You literally right there. You looking at your fucking gunners. His fucking shit is right here. Right. And you looking at that bitch. All right, set, ready, fire. Oh man, hey, your motherfucking RTO. Your RTO better be on that shit. You better be ready to call check fire if you fucking up, bro. Oh man, I'm getting my dick hard just thinking about that shit.
The worst thing to do is have like slight dyslexia and being fucking a chief. Because like my soldiers used to laugh the fuck at me, especially in the Paladin, because my gunner could see the motherfucking fire mission. And like, man, I would always call off the deflection backwards as shit. He'd be like, yo, check that shit again, chief. And I'm like, hey, yeah.
Man, y'all trying to say this is jail, chief.
Yo, finger popping though. Hold on, let's go to this. Finger popping. What's the biggest charge you ever finger popped?
I ain't never finger pop, man.
You never finger popped?
I ain't finger pop nothing.
I ain't
you didn't finger pop either? Yeah, man, y'all are y'all bringing y'all peoples down.
Well, one, I was never
number one man.
Yeah, I was never a number one man.
No, that's chief shit.
Only time my number one was in AIT, and then I think I maybe shot 1 round. Like,
bro, I used to finger pop off that chief seat, baby. Off that chief seat. Motherfucking number one man, all he ever did was load it. That's all he did was load that round. My gunner, hey, charge 5 hotel, ready to be verified, ram. Oh man, we get the shit in there. Lay key back, lick, action command with intolerance, no warning messages. Boom! That bitch was gone. I kept finger popping those 5 hotels until it caught me. It caught me one time, and I was like, boom! Ooh, fuck! I like, you got it. You got it. That shit hurt.
I used to just cut corn. I used to pre-cut powders. I learned the game. My powder's already ready. My number one man already had the lanyard. I trust him enough. Hey, we ain't gotta do all that. I was all like, hey. And so yeah, I'm thinking anything else?
You know what ass backward was on the Paladin though? The motherfucking gunner verifying the chief.
Yeah.
That was ass backwards as fuck.
Yeah.
That was dumb as fuck.
Yo,
it really
did any of you know about changing the motherfucking time on your PDFCS?
So you get the mission first?
Yes.
Wow, that's
that was tank. That's some tank shit. Tank knew how to do that shit.
I'm just saying.
NCO that that's why Tank always shot first. Tank always shot first. It's an NCO that me and Lopez know. Tank knew how to get in there and finagle that goddamn PDFCS.
He just happened to be my first chief too.
He would get it just slightly before everybody else would get that fucking mission.
Like that 0.5 seconds, baby.
That's all he needed. Bro. Yeah, that's all he needed. Man, what was the dumbest shit? The dumbest shit that I ever seen on the gun line, right? This had to be when I was in training. The goddamn lieutenants didn't listen. They weren't paying attention. This motherfucker lieutenant put powders in first. Then they put a round in. And then they're like, the chief was like, yo, where the powders at? And the lieutenant was like, I already put them in. It was like, what the fuck? So what they wound up having to do, they shot that bitch. They put some more fucking powders in that motherfucker. And then they just got the Paladin and they got the 50-foot lanyard and hooked that motherfucker on there. And the Paladin and just kept rolling and shot that bitch.
What the fuck? Hold up.
So
you put the powders in and then the round.
Yeah.
I mean, I think in theory, I would have dropped that dick all the way down. Use the goddamn the rammers.
Man, they tried to ram it. They tried to do that shit, but
to pull out
it didn't work.
The charge?
Were
they Mac charges or were they powder charges?
They were Mac.
Oh damn, that's why you're fucked.
Yeah. So it was just they put the 50-foot lanyard on the Paladin and they took off.
And the dick didn't blow off.
Nope, that bitch shot.
And did it land safe?
Yeah, I mean, it was at 4-5 West, so it landed safe. They were making sure everybody was out the way for they did.
The only dumb shit that I saw, I really ain't seen none to that level. But I had a battle. He ended up cutting a piece of his finger off because we was at night ops, and so instead of like taking a flashlight to see, we got to put in for travel lock for the 198, the safety pin in there. This motherfucker uses his finger to like line it up, and then of course. You got they dropping it down and he sliced his first part of his finger off.
God damn, man. Artillery guys got fucked up hands, man. I don't give a fuck what anybody say. Artillery guys got some fucked up hands.
Hey, I was finger popping the hose though.
Hey, bro. Hey, we were just talking about like that wild ass story you told about like when you was in a car. So he was like, yeah, back page was a motherfucker. Yo.
Right.
Yeah, I was like, yo, this dude, wow.
Man, but then there's always levels to the wildest, man. There's like somebody look at that back page, that's light work, man. That's
let me ask y'all something. We're gonna get a little bit racial on this right now.
I'm fucking weak.
Why is it that it's always black folks on the mechanized units?
Because we got tired of getting rained on, man. We fucked that water, man. I got tired. Like I'll tell you the reason why I left light. Is because I got tired of getting rained on. I got tired of freezing. Bro, that heater in that Paladin, woo!
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie.
Oh, y'all lucky y'all had heaters that worked in your Paladin. That's cute.
It was at the thing, like if the heater didn't work, deadline that bitch.
What?
Yes.
God damn.
Deadline. Oh,
that's some soft as fucking baby shit.
I will be that.
Yeah.
Bro, like, because literally my first field problem was in Yakima down in Lewis, and I was in the back of the LMTV just freezing my balls. I couldn't even sleep. I was so cold. I was like, you know what? I got so much PTSD for freezing, man. If it drops in my apartment from like a certain temperature, I'm all like, I'll deal with the heat. I can manage. Yeah. That cold hurts.
Bro, you talking about you? Yeah. That was me in December
Yeah, y'all call me
of
bitch.
2003. No. No, that was me, December of 2003. Bro, that was the first time, because I'm from West Texas. And I was at Fort Campbell. Bro, it was snowing. Like, I was like you, bro. I was in the back of the Humvee crying, contemplating going AWOL at this point. I have never felt cold like that before in my life. And then on top of that, like that night, the litter was already in the back of the fucking Humvee. So I'm like, oh man, this is a nice bed right here. Man, my chief was like, "Hun, if you don't get your ass the fuck up out my bed," you know?
Right.
I was like, "Oh shit!" I thought it was,
You know, Chief got the best sleeping spot in the house.
Hell yeah! I was like, man, I had to sleep on the goddamn the hood of the Humvee. I mean, it was pretty warm there, but I was like, this ain't it, man. Right. I was contemplating going.
I got one for you. Worst place to take a shit. Worst place you ever took a shit out in the field.
Oh man. Oh, I learned, hey, eat tool shit, baby.
Bro, I wouldn't say it was a field, but I did ride up and down the highways of Iraq, holding onto the bows of the Humvee, shitting off the back of the fucking Humvee.
Worst place? Oh yeah, them porta johns, them not porta johns.
Yeah.
Where we had to burn shit. Yeah, we had my first tour when we had moved up north to Bakuba. They set up an outpost, and we had to go burn shit. Man, that was.
Hold up. What year were you in Bakuba?
I was up there. Let me see. We moved up north. I want to say August.
What year?
July, August of 2008. Yeah.
Man, listen, you was probably busting my old lady down at that time.
I ain't get
my
no
ex-old lady.
I ain't get no deployment. Well, I went to Qatar, and that's where I got some. But yeah, I ain't get no coochie on a deployment till that second tour when I was up at Taji. I'm not Taji, but Adder. Because they had Air Force there. I was like, oh, I'm gonna give me some.
Bro, no, the best place was Anaconda.
Oh yeah,
man,
goddamn. Anaconda,
bro, we went to
city,
Anaconda. Bro, Anaconda, we were like eyes wide open. We got in there, them Air Force shit, because there was two pools. And they was in a two-piece swimming suits. And we were like, what the fuck is going on here, man? We was what?
We took a break and we drove down to Anaconda from Warhorse, like just to go to the pool, get a, just reset. And bro, like we went to that pool. I was like, what? Because you ain't seen no woman like the one woman, our line medic we had. She might as well have been a dude, like, but
somebody was fucking it though.
She was a virgin. She was like full on. She loved Jesus more than everybody. Everybody tried. That was the one. Oh, we knew who was getting knocked down.
Well, somebody was beating them guts.
Oh yeah, somebody was getting knocked down.
If she did it, I think Christ was beating them guts down, but we ain't know.
God damn, gentlemen. This has been a good motherfucking episode today. We got about 3 minutes left. Hey, do me a quick favor here, Big Chief. Let people know where they can find you, man, and find your shit at.
Man, they can find me on the gram, MYFORREST, the number 2. Been doing art. I really want to help other veterans get into art, comedy. That's been one of the best forms of therapy. Everything. Once you go there, and you can go to my website, forrestjob.com, FORESTJOB.com, and you can find my YouTube channel. You can find everything on there. So
I've been scoping out you working on your comedy, man, and I love it because I'm getting to see you, at your start.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers might be hating or whatever they want to say, but guess what? Everybody starts at the bottom somewhere, and you got to bomb before you make a bomb ass set. You know what I'm saying? So,
y'all, man, I tell you, veterans, get up there because it's been helping my PTSD. I ain't telling the VA too much of that, but it's really because it forces me to be in front of people. And it used to be a point where I'll be like, when I first started, I used to trying to tell a joke while you're scanning your sector ain't easy. Right, so I'm like over time, like I'm getting more comfortable and just like, so like that's definitely helping my PTSD. So yeah, but I appreciate you, bro.
No doubt, baby. I can't wait. If you ever come do open mics or whatever out here in San Antonio, let me know. I will probably go support. I'll be the motherfucker right there laughing my ass off with you.
I need to connect you with there's another veteran down in San Antonio that does comedy. I
see them over here all the time. I think his name is Raul Sanchez.
Yeah.
There's a couple of them, man. Yeah, they got a comedy tour coming around called Friendly Fire with that motherfucking combat veteran dude. So I can't wait to see that shit. What about you, Lee Hunt?
Kill me, man. You talking about free?
Yes, sir. Yeah, Friendly Fire. Oh man, y'all can just find me on the TikTok talking shit as usual. Other than that, I'll be here on the Gunline.
getting people riled up.
Yeah. Yeah,
I just want to say KFC is better than Popeyes and Church's.
I'm gonna need you to watch.
biscuits.
Okay, I need you to watch that last episode of Atlanta. Like, watch the last episode of Atlanta. You'll see the power that Popeyes has on folks.
Not them biscuits. Hey, Church's has the best biscuits, hands down.
All right. And before we go, question for the panel as well as the people out there. If you have sex with a post-op trans woman, are you gay? I think you are. Because you're fucking a man at the end of the day.
I put it under the pansexual category. There we go.
I'll put it on the, the category is like, I would prefer to know, and if I knew, then it would be a no-go.
Yeah. I like organic vagina.
Homegrown. No GMOs, baby.
No modifications.
Hey, y'all, man. It's been a great one, dude. We got to get more Chiefs on here together.
Yep.
Get this fucking gun line filled up, baby. I appreciate y'all being here. Thank you for being here at the last minute, Big Chief. Hunt, as usual, thanks for being able to pop back on. Hey, y'all out there, give us some shit to talk about. Y'all want to hear the opinions of 3 fucking Chiefs that are disgruntled? Let us know. Hit us up at onthegunline@gmail.com. Check us out on the socials on TikToks. Love, peace, and hair grease. Rounds complete.
Hey, here we go, real quick. The grumpy bunnies.
The grumpy bunnies.
Gun bunnies. Gun bunnies. The grumpy bunnies.
I got you. All right, rounds complete. End of mission. Gun line out. Peace, motherfuckers. March order. Doses.